Having need to be able to get about from work, not relishing the thoughts of going back to a bicycle, I bought a car for £50. It was a beat up old wreck, but it ran. It was a Hillman drop-head coupe. Sounds very nice. And this is what I wrote about it. Hillman drop-head coupe, 36. Youth and cars, not a good mix. Bought in 1958, £50 and looking great. Maroon with a drop-head hood, movie stars, we felt good. Racing about the countryside, was this the beginning of the joyride? Pubs and dances were where we went, my youth was nearly misspent. Drinking large amounts of beer, off in the car we would career. It didn't matter we had too much, there were no drinking laws as such. With door nailed up it didn't matter, exhaust pipe dropped off with a clatter. To the canvas, tyres worn thin, cut a welly boot, slip it in. These were my early motoring ways, we'd get locked up nowadays. Today things are much stricter, spot checks, MOTs and emission testers. But we had our fun in that time, I'd like to do it one more time. Farming, back to farming in 1958. It was a very wet year and we had to struggle with the weather. So I wrote this about it. Wooden ferries in 58, wet year, heavy, land not great. Couldn't get the combine near, pushed it with a crawler up the rear. Pea harvest turned in many times, too wet to go through the combine. Potatoes rotting in the field, don't expect too great a yield. In September, rain won't ease, loss of crops, corn, potatoes, peas. Can't get to work on a motorbike, floods along the River Crouch. Then we tried to plough the fields, could only go down the hills. That's how it was in the wet year, not too good for farmers, I fear. And then in 59 it turned the other way around and it was so hot. The ground baked out so hard. So I wrote this about that particular year. It was so hot in 59 while driving the Massey 21 combine. No cab was there to shield the dust, open to the breeze's gust. Barley avers chase you more, rub your skin and make you sore. The potato harvest was so poor, it was so dry, they grew no more. Machinery broke every week, the ground baked hard, like concrete. We had to wait till it rained some more, ploughing was another chore. About this time there was a rumour that the land we farmed at Wooden Ferrers was to be used as a new town. So Mr. Sackley was busy looking for a new farm, and in 1959 he bought a farm in Suffolk, just outside Bury St Edmunds, at Little Saxham. This was an exciting time. We travelled to from Woodham to Saxham 3 or 4 times a week, building new farrowing and fattening pens. We passed through Bury, and I remember they were setting up for the Magna Carta pension, and I wrote this about 3 years ago. The Magna Carta. The barons met in Bury Abbey. They'd been treated very shabby. King John was not a well-loved man. He taxed the people out of hand to pay for wars that he had lost, to the barons and people's cost. The barons drew up a Liberty Charter, later on called the Magna Carta. Secretly they made a vow they would not be bullied now. Then in 1215 at Runnymede they saw their plan succeed. The king signed, the barons saw, no man, not even the king, was above the law. Then throughout the world the Magna Carta was unfurled as the charter for the king and the common man to live in harmony throughout the land.